Here's another historic page from the Illini Scrapbook, brought to you by the Carmack Car Capital of Danville. Raymond Ernest Nitschke was born in 1936, just 4 days after Christmas in Elmwood Park, Illinois. An all-state quarterback at Proviso High School, the 6'2", 210-pound youngster made a big impression on Illini head coach Ray Elliott. With Tom Haller and Hyle Stout already in place as signal callers, Elliott moved his bruising sophomore to fullback on offense and to linebacker on defense. Soon after the position switch, young Ray began to flourish, ultimately leading the Illini in rushing and scoring his senior year and starring as a tackler on defense. At the 1958 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers chose Nitschke in the third round, and that season Ray continued his two-way role for the green and gold. In 1960, he became the Packers' regular starting middle linebacker and began his rise to stardom. 5 times that decade, he was selected to the All-Pro team. Number 66 was a hard hitter, complementing the play of defensive teammates Herb Adderley, Willie Davis, Henry Jordan, and Willie Wood. Nitschke's athleticism showed up big time when it came to intercepting passes. Through his 15-year NFL career, he picked off an amazing 25 interceptions from his linebacker position. During the Vince Lombardi era from 1959 to 67, Green Bay's defense was a stingy bunch, yielding just 15 points per game during regular season games and even fewer points in the playoffs. Ray Nitschke had the good fortune to play for two of the greatest coaches the game has ever known in Ray Elliott and Vince Lombardi. Years later, he compared the two men in an interview.
Nobody could bring you up and get you in a frame of mind like Coach Ray Elliott. I mean, and maybe that's one of the things that really impressed me about him when I was being recruited. He came to our banquet in high school. He was at the football banquet, and I remember sitting up at the podium with him and looking down, and he had everybody mesmerized. He had everybody at the end of their seats. I mean, for his next word, he had the ability to get up and down with his voice and his emotions, and then what he had to say, the pride, the discipline, the being a team player. I mean, all those things, and that's where Coach Lombardi was that kind of guy too. I don't think Coach Lombardi was as good of a speaker as Ray Elliott, but he was kind of a little bit, but being Italian, I think he was a little bit more violent, but he got his points across, but he had compassion, and he talked about the values that it takes about discipline, leadership, and the pride and the loyalty that you have to have for your organization. Ray Elliott was proud to be a fighting Illini. He was proud of the Illini. He wanted you to be proud when you went out in that field, wearing that orange and blue. Vince Lombardi was the same kind of guy. When you wore that green and gold, the pride, the loyalty, and give it your best, and take it, use what God has given you. And they were just great people, and I'm so much the better because I've had an opportunity to be coached by a Ray Elliott and a Vince Lombardi.
In 1983, Ray Nitschke's jersey number 66 was the fourth to be officially retired by the Packers. No bigger compliment can be offered to an athlete. We'll be back with one more scrapbook note about Ray Nitschke following this message from Carmack Car Capital of Danville. As we mentioned before, Ray Nitschke's jersey number 66 is one of just 5 that's been retired by the Green Bay Packers. You're a real football expert if you know the others. One is Bart Starr's number 15. Another is Reggie White's number 92. And a third, Brett Favre's jersey number 4, was retired just recently. The other 2 aren't quite as easy. One is Tony Canadeo's number 3, and the other is Don Hudson's number 14. For the News Gazette and Carmack Car Capital of Danville, this has been another historic page from the Illini Scrapbook. I'm Mike Pearson.